Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Let's take a deep dive into the 2025 Kentucky defense. But before we do that, let's talk about the offense a little bit. Now, as you know, we've gone over the portal players. And as you can see, we spent most of our money on the offense. Like we got the last four players, we got four players out of the portal this week. Two offensive linemen, a wide receiver, and a tight end. The problem with our offense is it was so bad, we had to rebuild every part of it. We needed a quarterback to either start or back up Cutter Boley. I think Calzada is going to start. As you know, Dane Key and Barry Brown left, so we had to get some receivers, so we had to pay for that. Then we, other than Wilcox, we didn't have any running backs, so we had to go get Dante Dowdle from Nebraska out of the portal. Tight ends, we didn't have any blocking tight ends. That's what this last guy we got was. And we got a good blocking tight end from Illinois. So you go right down the line. We need a center to back up if Jagger Burton is the center. I think there's a debate about that. We'll see. So we had to rebuild the big blue wall entirely. So, I mean, man, we spent all of our money on offense. But when you're last in the SEC, and I forgot what I said on the offense, what we were nationally. Out of 132 teams, I think we were like, I don't know, 109th. We were awful, total offense, just awful. That's where all of our money went. But we had a good defense last year. It was just on the field too much. So before we talk about 2025, let's review 2024 stats for the defense. Now, I went to NCAA.com because if you start looking on total defense, where we ranked, ESPN had us at 50 something. Somebody had us at like 38. I was like, well, where am I going to get my stats from? I went to NCAA.com. Okay. That's where I got my stats from. So we were ranked 44th in total defense in the nation, which out of 132 teams, not bad. We gave up 345 yards a game. Okay, playing the schedule we played and the people we played, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, not, great, but not, as bad as it could have been. We gave up 5.8 yards per play, which is not, that's not good. But, once again, we were on the field a lot. We gave up 22 points a game, which, okay, that's not god awful, especially like I said, when you're playing Texas, Georgia, the people we had to play, Ole Miss, who can score a lot, Tennessee, 22 is not awful. We gave up 32 touchdowns in 12 games. So there's your 22 points a game because that's like, well, 2 touchdowns a game, almost 3. So our opponents on third down, their conversion rate was 40%. Man, you really want it under 40%. But, once again, for the teams we played, that's not bad, 40% third down conversion rate. We gave up 161 yards rushing per game, which, once again, not bad. 4.5 yards attempt. You really want it for 4.0 or under. Obviously, you don't want it over 4, but 4.5 is acceptable for who we played. We only gave up 183 yards passing. That's where our strength is, and we're going to talk about it in our back end, in our defensive backs. We gave 183 yards per game, 7.9 yards per play in the passing game, which, okay, not great, but not awful. One thing we were great at, red zone defense. We were top 10 nationally, 69.2% scoring rate in the red zone. We gave up 18 touchdowns, 9 field goals. So that was stellar. We could do that again and improve the offense. That's why I'm optimistic, because if Brad White can do that and do these stats with a better offense, we can win some more games. So we allowed 6 different running backs to rush for over 100 yards out of 12 games. Okay, once again, with the schedule we play, acceptable, not great. We only allowed 3 quarterbacks to pass for over 200 yards. Now, that's what surprised me. Out of all the people we played, and only 3 quarterbacks passed for over 200 yards. So not bad. Now the bad news. We allowed 400 yards of total offense to 5 teams. We lost to all of them. Florida, Auburn, Tennessee, Texas, Louisville. Most of them were blowouts. Auburn 24-10. But yeah, so we gave 5 teams 400 yards. That wasn't good. We only had 24 sacks, which is 2 per game, which is 65th nationally. But 2 sacks a game is not going to get it done. We really need to, and we're going to talk about that. The style of play, we're gonna change up a little bit according to Brad White. We forced 16 turnovers in 12 games, so kind of want to be better at that. We averaged 52 yards per game in penalties, which is 74th nationally, which is not good. We can't. We can't be. We really don't need any penalties, but 52 yards a game, we can't give teams like Texas, Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee 52 extra yards on anything. So we need to be better there. But that was the stats for the 2024 defense. All in all, not bad. But our back end is really good. Our defensive back. So John Hale and Tom Leach were talking on their show about the defense for this year, and they said that Mark Stoops and Brad White said there's one buzzword for this year's defense: aggressive. So we're going to be more aggressive on defense. They didn't go into specifics, but as you can guess, if you're going to be aggressive on defense, you're probably going to blitz and gamble. So we might blitz and gamble a little bit, which, hey, maybe that's what we're going to have to do. Like I said, we didn't pick up a lot of players on defense. We're thin at linebacker. We're starting to get thin at defensive line. So it's starting to worry me a little bit. People, are saying our defense is stellar and all that, and it may be. But, I don't have any wood to knock on. Injuries. If we have any, we're in trouble. So let's not have any injuries. So when I say we're thin at linebacker, we have 13 linebackers on the spring roster. We picked up 3 in the portal: Green, Olds, and Watson. And we're moving defensive back Alex Afari Sr. to inside linebacker because he's such a good tackler, is what Brad White said. So that's great. Moving a defensive back that's a good tackler to linebacker. Stand out in spring camp with Steven Souls Jr. I know he hadn't played a lot, but they actually liked his energy and the way he is picking up the defense. As I said, we are inexperienced on the defensive line. And we started the spring out with 14, and we lost 2. We're down to 12. So once again, getting thin there. We brought in 3 very experienced players. Gusta from Washington State, Williams from Wyoming, and Humphrey Grace from South Dakota. So we do have some experienced players, but not enough. Our strength is our defensive backfield. We have 17 cornerbacks and safeties. We picked up 1 in the portal because we didn't need anybody, but we did pick up Kevis Thomas from Maryland. And we did get 3 highly recruited high school players. And that's cornerbacks and safeties. Dylan Williams from Alabama, DeMarcus Gardner from Georgia, Marcus Carter, the guy from Paducah Tillman, this Marcus Carter Jr. Is he's a 4-star, but some people had him a 5-star. And he was recruited by, like I said in my defensive backs video, he was recruited by any big school: Notre Dame, Georgia, Alabama. He could have went anywhere, but he came here. So hopefully, I don't know if he's cornerback or safety, but he's a good athlete, evidently. Returning starters. We have a lot of returning starters in our defensive backfield: DJ Waller, J.Q. Hardaway, Ty Bryant, Trayon Nichols, Jordan Lovett, Nasir Addison. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 returning starters for the 11 on defense. So that's, the back end's going to be good. So that's really the defense for this year. Look, it's Brad White, but our offense has to help our defense out, and that's why we spent all our money on offense and we didn't spend it on defense. I'm hoping the portal doesn't completely close until the 25th of May. I'm hoping we just pick up some numbers to practice with. I keep seeing offensive linemen and tight ends and wide receivers. And hey, we need all of that, but man, we sure could use some defensive linemen, maybe a linebacker. I just don't know at this point in the portal who's left. And like I said in my previous video in the week, the players you're picking up this late in the portal are just practice players. They know they're not going to start. They know, and they don't have a lot of experience. They're just there so your starters don't have to take that many snaps during the practices, which is good because Lord knows we do not need to get anybody hurt. really on any line, the offensive line, but on the defensive line and linebackers, knock on wood, once again, nobody gets hurt. So I expect Brad White to have the defense ready to play. I expect our offense to be better. As I said, very optimistic. I know we got the fourth hardest schedule in the SEC and the eighth hardest schedule nationally. I hate it. I was looking at Missouri's schedule. I was watching a power rankings video. Missouri, they don't play Georgia, they don't play Florida, they don't play Texas, and I'm like, man, why can't we get that schedule? The new SE schedule I just saw today. We are going to go to 9 teams. If you watch my video today, well, no, it's put out. Actually, I'm filming today. It was put out on Thursday. We're going to go to 9 SEC games because ESPN's offering $80 million. So we're going to 9 league games. So hey, we might as well just toughen up. And then there's talk of a Big Ten game every year. So I said the Louisville series is going to go away. It's going to go away because we're gonna need home games, and Louisville's not going to play us every year at home. As I said, I won't rehash that, but it looks like that's going to go away. So there's going to be a lot of changes, guys, in the playoff system and the SEC. We'll have 4 common opponents, is what's being said, and rotate everybody else. Who will our common opponents be? I don't know. But if they give us Georgia, Tennessee, man, I'd like to have Vanderbilt, Missouri, but it looks like, it could be anybody. So I don't know who it will be, or how they will even figure out who goes with who or what. Obviously, Alabama's going to play Auburn, and there's some rivalry games, Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I'm sure. Hopefully, we'll get rid of Georgia, but that's the defense. And I think it's going to be, if we could stay, what did I say we were nationally? Now that I just sat here and forgot what I just told you. We were 44th. Man, if we could stay in that 40 range or move up into the 30s, that would even be better. But we'll be doing some more videos. I'll have my shorts on every day or two. I'll put some shorts on just to show you the history of Kentucky football. I'm going to do a making the case video for Mark Stoops and do a deep dive into his career and what he's facing right now. He is the winningest coach in our history. Some people want him gone. Some people told me John Summerall. Okay, the guys tell me John Summerall. Listen, dude, he was 9-5 at Tulane. I know he's a Kentucky ties and all that, but let's just see if we can keep this coach, and then we'll worry about the next coach later. But listen, if you like this channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm just getting to 100 subscribers. I appreciate my 98. I think I'm at 98 subscribers today. I appreciate it. Once I get to 500, we can do a lot more stuff on here. I can put polls up. I can go live. So listen, if you're watching this video and you haven't hit subscribe, help me out. Please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.